Okay, guys, welcome back. Again, this is the 2014 Jeep Rubicon with the chassis replacement, the whole frame replacement. I have the bottom part of the car right here, and I'm installing into that new chassis. I'm also replacing the front differential housing that got bent on the accident. And for those that just got into the channel and haven't seen the first two parts, I will be posting the links in here so you guys can go back and check in order, so it's better to understand. They're not so long of a video, so just go ahead and check them. They're very good. So one thing that I want to start with this one is when you need to disconnect in order to get the transmission and the motor out from the frame. So again, on the first two parts, I disconnect the harness on the engine, which is right now sitting on top of it. This is the connections. And the only thing that I need to remove so far as I can see is these two fuel lines on the tank, because they are, attached to the transmission and on the engine with clips. So I don't want to remove those. I just need to disconnect it from the tank. So this one is, the blue one is just a press-in clip. Let's see, yeah, now it's better. You just press it in and remove the hose. And this one you need to remove this red lock, and then on the back you push the lever in order to remove it from the hose. So that's the only two things that we need to do so far. I have to also disconnect the motor mounts. I'm going to put a strap on the engine and on the transmission in order to use that jack. The jack is right at the back. That one right there, that's the jack for the motors and transmissions, at least when you have it like this. So okay, so this is the starting of this last part. Probably we'll see how long it's going to be. Maybe if it's too long, I will do a four part. Hopefully this will be enough, and I'm going to just remove this, put everything back in here, and then just lower the body of the car, which is let me show you 1 second, which is right here. All right. Okay, I set up the camera so you guys can see me here. Hopefully everything is showing up good in here. So what I just did is I removed these two hoses that are going to be attached in the steering the steering box. I'm thinking of removing it from here. I got the bolts from the outdoor control arm, the fitment arm removed. And I got these hoses, they were already disconnected from the pump. These are 2 8mm, and these are just plastic clips. That's what I have done so far. I also removed the shield on this motor mount on this side. It has a heat shield that you need to remove. So that's it. Alright, so the idea is to remove these steering box. I have this special tool for you. This is for multi-seat to remove the ball joint, so you don't have to hammer or hit anything. Hopefully this fits here. got a separate tray. It's not in the camera, but I got a separate tray for these bolts, whatever I'm going to remove from here. We can remove by hand with the spring. I hope it's not much of a chop noise and you guys can hear me well. Again, this is a new microphone. I did a couple of tests and I'm very impressed with the noise cancelling and the directional of the microphone. It's called what they call directional microphone. So far, very, very impressed. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. At this distance, the camera's probably maybe 5 feet, 5.5 feet away from me. And the microphone. I'm gonna stop it 1 second to check the audio. Alright, the steering box is pretty much ready to be removed. Just got one bolt in there for my gloves. Hoses and clips are removed too. Hold this so it doesn't fall to the floor. At least the nice thing with this car is fairly new, 2014, so it's not much rust. That's the last one. Put it in there. Catch the two hoses and just bring this baby down. I got it out. I'm gonna put it away. At least with that, I got more clarity to remove this, at least to loosen up the motor mount. I would like to refresh the treads before. Looks like they're 18 too. Correct. Sorry for the sharp noise, but that's impossible. Alright, so all you gotta do with this is just loosen it up, because they have a kind of like an eye on the frame itself. So you can just loosen them up and then move it out and get it out. This motor mount is gonna need to be replaced. This one is the one that pushed back. It's completely damaged. But for the removing purposes, I'm gonna leave it in there. So that's holding my engine. Okay, so both motor mounts are removed, loose, 18 millimeters. remove the heat shield on one of the bottom arms. That's for the suspension, but since I'm here, I'm gonna remove it. So this is for the suspension. It's just the heat shield. It has two bolts. I already removed the one for the bottom, and I'm going to remove this one now. Okay guys, I will remove the catalytic converter on the driver's side that was hit on the accident too. I'm sorry for that. And I'm about to remove the bottom motor mount, the transmission mount, which are 16 millimeters. Well, that's what a catalytic converter is. I removed the oxygen sensor. I left them attached in there, so I just will screw it back, and I'm going to remove the engine and the transmission from the chassis itself. That's my next step. Alright, engine and transmission are coming out, no problems at all. Again, I removed the catalytic converter on this side. It's very easy. It's just two 10 millimeter bolts. Always the socket size that you need or the wrench size you need. I removed 3 nuts, number 16. Let me show it to you. So that one right here, I'm sorry, let me actually very hard. So these ones are, I always got like a big washer. So again, I got separate what I'm removing right now from, this is from before the body was removed, and that is from now the body is out. So let me show you how I secured. I had this motor jack. This motor has a bracket on the front. I got a bolt through that, and then a chain onto that shackle on the top. Then I put this strap, which is very good on the transmission. Make sure that you don't break any lines or any sensors on removing. And it's right now up in the air, so I'm just gonna move it out. I'm going to seat it on those 2 tires in there. For the meantime, I pass everything to the new frame. Again, the engine and the transmissions are out. I already set up the new frame ready to receive the parts. I start taking some of the brake lines, wiring harness connections. Pretty much, what I'm removing is just the clips in here. The lines are disconnected and the wiring harness is disconnected. It's just a matter of removing the clips, removing any clamp that has attached to the frame. I want to bring the harness and the brake lines. That's my next step into the new frame. I have to leave the engine in here. I have to, in the jack, I'm going to leave it in there to secure, because when I was about to put them on the tires, I started, noticing a leak. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of weird because nothing should leak in there. And I find out that when the front propeller shaft spin, not only hit on the back, that was what we could see on the engine, it also hit there. So that is leaking, and that part has to be replaced. So something else I have to do. Alright guys, so I'm going to start again moving all the lines and harness. That's my next step. Okay, I took the shock absorbers from the front. I also start removing the brake lines, and I got the calipers out on at least on the left side. I removed the nut for the axle. That's a 34 millimeter. The caliper bracket to the knuckle are 21. The shock absorber, the upper nuts are 16s, and the bottom ones are 18s. I also removed the sway bar links from the axle itself. Those are 18. They were loosened up on the, I think it's in the first or second video. I also removed the ball joint from the knuckle, because I need to take apart this one. This will be only on my case because I have to replace that axle, so this will be also a video on how to replace the front axle housing in the 2014 Rubicon. Alright guys, so I will keep going. Okay guys, this looks more like completely disassembled, but it's not yet. Well, at least I got the whole front removed. Well, at least the majority. I have all the bars, sway bars, the steering bars too. I got the axle completely removed. As you can see, I left the arms in here. Those are going to be replaced because of the accident. Same as that is the driver's side axle shaft. So this is looking more like ready to go onto the other one. Still got to remove the differential from the housing itself. It was a nightmare to remove that driver's side. It was so bent that it was very hard. Let's see if you guys, very hard maybe to see on the video, but this side is super bent. Like, I mean, I would say maybe like a 10-degree. So I got to remove that. I have all the suspension and hub and knuckle, everything ready for each side. I don't want to like mess side to side. It's easier like that. This shock absorber is damaged, so I just left it here because I'm going to use the bolts. The bolts for the hubs are special. That's a 12.13. That's one of them in there. So what I did is I have a tray for each side, again to make it easier to install back. I have all the cover for the differential. This one, the front cover, you need to remove in order to get the oil out, and also the differential itself too. So those are 13 millimeters. That it goes just with silicone, so I have to clean the cover and then just reseal it and put it back. Gotta be careful with these sensors that are here on top, and another one in the side. Looks like this one has a connector. This one has a connector that goes in here. I have to check that one on the side. The one on the side looks like it's just screws in. Yeah. Sorry for this one right here. Looks like just screws in, and this one looks like it has just to be removed up, and then I have to figure out how the other connector goes so it doesn't get broken. This is a slip differential, so I have to be careful with that too. When it's not that it's like difficult, but you have to be careful. Make sure you mark the caps. I mean, I think the housing comes with it, but it's always good to mark. This one's in here. I always put a mark on it, so if you're going to reuse them, make sure they're on the right side. So what else I was going to show you guys? Well, the spring for each side has a position that's very easy to see. The biggest side goes onto the differential housing. It sits right here, and the small one goes up in the top. I still gotta remove this two absorbers. Let's call that on those springs. It goes right here. This yellow one I have to clean because it's full of rocks and dust and rust. Even if it's a new car, it's a perfect part for the rust to stay. They should put a cover on that. Well, but at least everything is going very smooth, no problems. So this is as much as I have. Let me show you the front sway bar with that motor. That is a link for tire to tire, on the ball joints, and that one is the one that goes onto the pitman arm. The other one is just a suspension link that goes from the differential to the chassis. The curved part goes on the upper part of the frame, where I have a bolt. Yeah, I put the bolt in there. As you can see, I just got those ready. Same thing for the arms. I got the new arms in here ready to go, and I left the bolts just tied with the hands, so they're ready to be installed as well. It's almost 5:30, so this is pretty much calling it off for today. Pretty much the whole day working on this one today. It's definitely a lot of work, and there's still a lot more to do. But that's what we're here for, right?